Hey, hey, self-care challenge day 8, 49 days of self-care. We are looking at our self-awareness and the energy in the root chakra. And if you want to incorporate my acronym of the best you, today is the letter B for beliefs. Let me go find me on the Facebook so I can share into the groups. And in Soul, Iona Mead Soul Legacy Academy and Spiritual Business YouTubers Network, the Cheers to Financial Freedom. Today is Contribution Freedom Monday. Multitasking is not my strong point, just saying. So lots of things are dropping in for me today. I'm going through all of them, but it's just interesting how things can drop in, how we can hear them differently, how we can process them differently, how the process of connecting or making connections, that's really pretty amazing. So with that being said, thinking of your self-awareness, thinking of you, showing up as you, as the best version of you, really being aware of how you're showing up, how you're feeling, how you're thinking, what your beliefs are, which really determines our thoughts and our emotions and all the things, right? What are you noticing for you? I notice for me today I'm sleepy. But that's okay. I've been up early, right? Like I say, downloads, connections, just all kinds of things coming together. Spent a lot of time working on, I don't really say working on, but just processing through all of those things. And then went outside in the garden to do some earthing and some grounding because that is all about today, right? That helps balance the energy in the root chakra. Root chakra is a direct connection with the earth. So that grounding really helps to keep that energy cleared and balanced. Also, if you notice, color red, right? So if you guys still have your chakra healing cheat sheet, use it, right? So why I haven't, I don't know. Sometimes we think we learned something and we know, so we don't have to repeat it or redo it or continue to do it, right? So then things slip our mind and then we can lose sight of it. So I had created a chakra healing cheat sheet, I believe a couple of years ago, and I use it as a bonus along with the 7-day chakra healing challenge, right? So if you've been through that challenge, you have that cheat sheet. Or if you're in my self-care Facebook group, because I had that, yeah, I had the challenge in there. And it's on the Energy Healing School website for the 7-day chakra healing challenge. And it literally on one page lets us know what we can do for each of our chakras. So again, as part of our homework, as we're being aware, assessing, and aligning the energies, right? I want to incorporate that in some of our homework. It just gives us more options, right? And some of it's very simple, easy, like going outside, spending some time in nature, sticking your bare feet in the ground if the weather's still nice for you, which it is right now here. Seasons change, right? In the wintertime, some people still go out and put their feet in the ground. I personally do not. Cold weather and I don't really resonate very well. So in this type of weather, I really like to be outside and go outside and do that earthing and that grounding. And in that self-awareness, really grounding within our human body, within our physical self, right? So being aware of how we feel. So we could do that quick scan. Hey, Amanda. Let me say hello real quick. I see you. Hi, Amanda. Thanks for saying hello. I don't, PM went over my head. I'm sorry. But it's good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Um, I'm sleepy now, so things aren't clicking. My apologies. Oh, grounding into the human body. See, I lost myself. Got excited. Grounding into the human body, being really self-aware. So self-aware of our beliefs, of our thoughts, of our emotions, and what we're feeling within this human body, life suit, skin suit, whatever we want to call it, right? So if you do that scan and kind of pay attention to like, how does your head feel? I always say, can you feel your hair? You know, kind of really start there, like a place to start to hone in. Can you feel your hair? And then just move down all over your body. Do you feel any tension? Do you feel any pain? Do you feel any tingles? Do you feel like, what do you feel? Do you feel coldness? Do you feel heat? And then ask. Ask yourself, what do you need? What is this trying to tell you, right? Is it from a physical injury? Or, like for myself, I have said before, I'll hold tension in my neck and in my shoulders, which manifests in physical pain, right? Especially if I don't release it or if I keep ignoring it or keep trying to push through it, then it just gets worse. So sometimes the physical pain is just because we allowed things to manifest that way. We didn't clear it out or address it in enough time before it could get there, right? Amanda says, glad to be here. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. I do need glasses too, but that's okay, right? I like to focus. I'm not trying to lose my physical sight by any means, but I like to focus within more, right? So I haven't been in a big hurry to replace the glasses. And there are actually times, this may sound silly, but this morning when I was journaling, I noticed myself, I took my glasses off. I was really just receiving and kind of writing it out. So how it looked on the paper really didn't matter. It was just that process, right, of receiving it and writing it down. So I didn't need to physically see my letters or how well, like even if I was on a line or not, right? Just allowing it to be and getting it through because it was the process that was important, not what was showing up on paper. But point being, I take the glasses off in a sense. I can see pretty well without my glasses as long as I don't have to like focus to read something, whether it's up close or distance. But I like to take them off and just allow, right? See within, allow that message to come in, pay attention to what that is, and not be as distracted by what I'm physically looking at around me. Let me know if that makes sense. Hey, love. Hi, Iona. Thanks for coming in. I came out a little bit earlier today. Kind of feeling sleepy, like I need a nap, and got some things to do before I do the nap. So thanks for coming on. Just talking about, the physical part of self, being self-aware, noticing what we're feeling, like physically in our body. We can also do a chakra scan, right? So paying attention to the crown chakra, the third eye. You can start from the root and move your way up if you would like. Today does focus on the root chakra. But again, the root chakra really governs all of our physical being as well. So yes, other chakras govern different parts of the body. It's still part of the physical body, right? And do we feel safe and secure within the body, or do we feel wonky and wobbly? Excuse me. So as Iona were talking about earlier, that whole spiritual awakening process, and I was really sitting with that deeply today, and the harshness and rudeness of it, right? And it was funny too. So I was just kind of doing some research because I think it's the humanness. We want to kind of look and see and compare with other, not necessarily compare, but kind of compare with other people and their experiences and hear about it, learn about it. And it was funny to me because what was showing up in the Google when I searched spiritual awakening symptoms, even, it's like, oh, you'll have this clear seeing, and it was like all rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and all the fun stuff, right? It's like, that's what you call a symptom? I feel that's once you get through the awakening, right? Like towards the end part of your awakening, that may be true, where it's more clear and you feel that more heightened abilities and less stress and more grounded. But there's a whole lot of things that go on, right, in that awakening process before we reach that peaches and cream. And I was looking at that because I like wrote down my own stuff and it's like wanted to see how it resonated and whatever, just making connections. And it wasn't clicking because it's like what I was finding was the pretty stuff. I'm like, I'm trying to address, right? Because I want to support people through the not so pretty stuff. But what I have also found is that part of the not so pretty stuff sometimes is labeled dark night of the soul. I just kind of see it both as being the same. Like, yeah, but that is part of that process. So the dark night of the soul is when we're feeling all that icky overwhelm and stress and like ripping the Band-Aid off, that's painful, right? Getting in there and cleaning out a wound is very painful. And to me, that's part of that spiritual awakening process. It's painful. It's painful. Let me come back up here. Sorry, catch up a little bit. Iona says, yes, it was early. I wondered, I know, I'm sleepy. Like I got up at 4 and stayed awake. I tried to go back to sleep for about a half hour, but it was apparent quickly that it wasn't going to happen. So I figured I was just going to make the best of it. There's a reason I was awake, right? But now I need a nap. Yep, the physical. Exactly. Like the root chakra is at the base of the spine, but it governs the whole physical. It is so harsh and rude. Right? And we have more than one. So again, dude falling down the hill, like thinking that that's it. Nope. Keep on going because there's more to come. Anna says, I have a playlist of spiritual awakening stories ready for my interview series. Awesome. I love that. I have every keyword that people search for as symptoms for spiritual awakening. Do you? All of awesome. Every keyword. It made me think of like the stress, depression, anxiety. Also made me think of, and I was reflecting on the detox symptoms when we do energy healing, like when we clear and release those blockages, some of that detox symptoms, some of that comes in too as well. Sorry about some on my foot. That was someone's playing with my foot. And there's nothing in the room with me, nothing physical. Iona says I had a dark decade of the soul, right? It's not a quick process either. Wounds into wisdom. That's I was trying to think of that phrase earlier too. I'm like, I know it's something into wisdom. I could remember wisdom. What was the other word I was thinking of? It wasn't wounds. It wasn't hitting clicking for me. So thank you for saying that. It's funny. I was wondering earlier and you just answered it for me. 1333, my featured co-author book. Fantastic. 1333. I had a nap. Did you? That sounds so nice. Do you hear that whininess? I want a nap. Gonna take one later if I can. And it says, yep, sharing 1 to 5 pages on the book. Yeah, that is so amazing. So amazing. There's a lot, right? Oh my God, something playing with my. Yeah, sure was. I felt it very clearly, but there's like, we have no pets and nope. I don't know. Just leave it at that. I don't know. That is funny. I answered, I know, right? And we didn't even chat about it. Like the internet has not been cooperative for the chat behind the scenes today either, so we didn't get to have all that conversation. Whining nap, I know, right? I'm so tired. It's being funny. So that self-awareness though, right? At least I'm aware of that and the why I'm sleepy. There was a time when I felt like exhausted all the time, and I kind of knew why, but there was more to it than I realized. So I didn't have that full self-awareness, which made it more difficult because sometimes we think, okay, I feel this way, and this is why. Like today, for an example, I'm tired. It's because I got up at 4 o'clock, um, and I made sense of it, right? I justified it in my head. However, it could be, I'm just saying, there could be more than that, right? Excuse me. Sometimes when we have downloads, we feel tired afterwards. It's a very energetic thing. It's almost like when if you've experienced anxiety and you have that, like, here's this massive anxiety and boom, here's this crash after, right? So it's like massive anxiety and boom, it feels like depression or super excitement, boom, right? Now I'm tired because the excitement wore off. It's similar to that. So having that awareness, and then sometimes it's because of those symptoms of our spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, whatever it may be, we're processing so much, it actually takes our energy, whether we're fully aware of it or conscious of it in the moment, it does take a lot of our energy. So then we're tired when we get move through some of that process. And it says, oh, the internet, I know, right? You've been having so much luck with that today. But for reasons, like it led you right to where you needed to be in the right moment. So that's a really beautiful thing. Iona says, so true, the awareness. Absolutely. I've been having so many downloads. I know, right? It's amazing. I love listening and seeing and watching and witnessing with you. I agree. Thank you. So having that awareness too, right? And it's not that I'm saying we should go, oh no, it's always assuming that it's more than that. I'm just saying be open, that's all. Because we can go down those rabbit holes, right? We can get sucked into those processes of trying to find more. And sometimes there's not more to find or just allowing it to be. Um, But again, having the awareness and being okay with that and accepting that. For me, sometimes when I get sleepy or any of those symptoms really can make us feel wobbly and wonky, right? So then root chakra energy in those moments of feeling wobbly and wonky, we don't feel rooted, we don't feel safety, we don't feel security, right? We don't feel grounded because we feel wonky and wobbly. So being aware of that so that we can address it. And again, there's that grounding, there's that earthing that we can do. If you pull up the one-page chakra healing cheat sheet that I mentioned earlier, we can use the healing hands, which this year's 7-day chakra healing challenge, I'm going to bring in a little bit more of the Reiki along with the healing hands. They are very similar. So again, I'll talk about that more in the 7-day chakra healing challenge on the live round at the 4th week of September if you guys want to hop on there with me. All of this that I talk about, though, or all that I cover on the chakra healing cheat sheet is already in the 7-day chakra healing challenge. So if you want to watch the replays, the playlist is on YouTube for free, just so you know, and the energyhealingschool.com online. Again, has a cheat sheet, has a 7-day chakra journal preview. I call it a preview because it's 7 days, so you could print off as many copies as you want to get you through the year or the next. What else? So color red for root chakra. I wore my red shirt. I know this one looks kind of pinkish online because it's got the, I think you still call it a tie-dye, but the type of tie-dye that it is, it kind of gives it this pinkish or orangey look, but it's actually red. Maybe hard to see. It's actually red, but the color red resonates with the root chakra. Let me see. I'm just looking to see what, here we go. I knew I missed one. My says even the spiritual ascension has loads of symptoms. Exactly. I think it's part of the same process, to be honest. Thank you, love. You're welcome. It does look red. Does it? Good. Good. 'Cause I know sometimes in my view, and or even when I watch the replays, like it has this orangey pinkish look to it, but it's actually red. But I like the tie-dye colors too. I don't know if that's a word, tie-dye. I just made it one. Solfeggio frequencies, which I love very much. And it's funny because I've been wondering, like my microphones, I'm going to test and play with them because I have I can take them all out here, but I have my tuning forks, right? And I think they're amazing and they're beautiful and they are attuned to the 9 solfeggio frequencies actually. So I'm just going to pull one out, show you. Here's one of my, try not to drop it, big long ones. But I've noticed even like right here, if I strike it and listen, I can hear it loud and clear over here. I didn't strike it, by the way. I can hear it loud and clear over here, but then it starts to lessen its intensity. But the closer you can bring it to the ear, you could still hear the vibration. You could still hear the tone of it. However, I've not found a microphone to carry that tone very well. Not that I've bought that many microphones. But should I find one that really picks up the sound or that can carry the sound long enough, I may share those with you guys a little more because I think they sound amazing and they are very, very healing. Also, you can use YouTube to look that up as well, right? So and I always say there's so much available on YouTube. Everything on YouTube is not great. So there are some meditations and some solfeggio frequency meditative type videos that I'll watch or listen to, but they kind of make me cringe. And if they make me kind of do this and cringe and it doesn't feel right, I don't listen. So I'm learning for me certain like groups or names that I feel more comfortable with that seem to resonate well with my energy and when some don't. Or there's some that, if they're brand new, I'm kind of just, I have a caution about it, or there's just that sense of, your intuition kind of says, looks good on the cover. Doesn't feel good though. So trust your intuition is all I'm going to say to that. Iona says the growth of a spiritual ascension feels better to me than an awakening. Yeah, yeah. I could see it being like steps of progression, right? Because the ascension is that growing and it's rising up and above. So I guess by the time you hit that phase, you've gone through a lot of the like dark night stuff. So that would definitely feel different. Oh, your forks. Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool. The forks. I'll test it out. Iona says, yeah, the one that I listened to and my office plant died. And I was like, no, right? Exactly. Isn't that something? Mm, when the plant even dies. Yes, the rock bottoms. Yeah. And that does feel different. So it's just like how we define it, I think. So I overgeneralized, I guess, the idea of the spiritual awakening from like onset to, you know, continuing to move through it. Whereas it seems like it might be broken down a little. But even within the spiritual awakening, like I said, there was a separation between that and Dark Night of the Soul. So it was like, yeah, I guess it just depends on how we look through the process. Just keep looking because, playing with my feet. Because it's making me laugh. Okay, anyway. Root chakra. Have something play with your feet. Some affirmations. We are journaling, right? So this is a journaling process. I'm getting on here and talking through some of the journaling processes, some awareness, sharing some of my own things, right? If you want to continue on with those affirmations or reflections for the root chakra, we use the words I have. So it reminds me of gratitude, right? When we start to think about the things that we already have, and then you can ask yourself if you need more of that awareness, like, what do I have? Because it sometimes quickly in that moment, you're like, I don't have anything. Or you just, you know how the humanness likes to think that we have nothing. And then we start to think in those ways. So then to stop and shift that and say, wait a minute, I have. And that's not, I have, but what do I have? And then start paying attention to what that is. And don't allow yourself to go with the no, I don't have, because there's lots of things I don't have, right? But there's lots of things that we do. And start with the basics. Start with your physical body if you need to. Start with the thoughts that you have if you need to. Start with the air that you breathe if you need to. Start, excuse me, start with the food that you eat if you need to, or the drink of water that you could take right now if you need to. The people in your life, the ability to be able to watch this video, right? To scroll Facebook, to look up things on Google or YouTube or whatever it may be. If you're taking a class or a course somewhere, having that ability to do that. So we do have. So again, we can journal on that. And if I think I said it already, but maybe not specifically the words for elemental healing. With the root chakra, the element is earth. So that's why we talk about that earthing and that grounding, right? Get outside in nature, get your feet in the grass or in the ground or in the sand or in the water, right? Iona says, oh my God, playing with your feet. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing to explain that fully. Iona says, yep, the humanness and the nothing. We do, right? Or it's not where I want to be. I have this, but like it's not enough or it's not good enough or and we can do that to the ourself as well, right? We talk more about that on Wednesdays when we talk about our self-image and having love for ourself. Excuse me. Iona says, I forgot to ground. It's interesting you say that because you did your live video outside too, right? So you were in nature. But have you noticed that? Thank you for bringing that up. So sometimes we are in nature, but we're not actually grounding because we're not allowing ourselves to receive the energy of it, right? We're not in that space fully. And I'm not saying this is true. Well, you said you didn't ground, but Iona, like I said, her live was outside today. So as I'm watching you, Iona, I'm seeing the tree, right? I'm noticing that you're outside and I can sense that energy around you. But your focus, right, is doing the video in the moment. So sometimes we don't always receive where we are, which again kind of goes into that I have, right? So I went out in the garden today, and if you notice on my page, I posted a couple more pictures of I had flowers from my sweet potato plants, which I think is the coolest thing. This is the first year I've had flowers on my sweet potato plants. So I was just basking in that energy. And actually, I ate lunch outside too. So I was sitting on the porch at the table, but I was outside and I was, in between bites and just enjoying my food. I was also being aware of my surroundings and just enjoying the flowers and the green grass and the green on the trees and just being in nature in that way. So I didn't have my feet bare on the ground at that time, but I was still aware of it and receiving the energy of nature around me, earth around me, and it was really nice. It was really nice. Iona says, I love being in nature. I know, it's so amazing. I think of the feet and grounding. Yeah, we do, right? Because that's normally how we do it. It's like the feet, in a sense, are our doorway. It's the part of our body that actually typically touches the ground or the earth. It's what we stand on. It's like, in a sense, it feels like our foundation, and we walk on our feet, right? Like I'm just having all of these conceptually, all the how we could symbolize grounding with our feet and that process of walking and standing and that stability. And I think I've shared before, it might have been a while, but I think I've shared before when my energy feels off, like way off, and I don't feel grounded, I physically wobble. I try to stand up and walk, and it's like just, it's really a weird feeling. It's almost like drunkenness, but without a substance. It's quite odd and strange. But yeah, that grounding with the earth, grounding again with inside of our own body, even just feeling into our body. Sometimes I think we feel detached, right? Just feel detached from the human. Um, could be because we're super focused on something, or if you've ever done like a really deep meditation and you can kind of feel detached, above your body, or some fully astral travel, right? I say I travel in my sleep, but I haven't learned how to control that yet. Iona says, yeah, the flowers, they are beautiful. They are. I love that basking. Me too. That's probably one of my favorite activities is to bask. I gravitate toward the trees too. I love them. Yeah, you have said you wobble. Yeah, it's so weird. It is so weird. It's like a weird feeling. I haven't done that in a while, which is nice, but it is a weird feeling. So you ready for homework? Homework today. Our self-awareness, checking in with ourselves, do the body scan, scan anything that I had mentioned off of the chakra healing cheat sheet for the root chakra would be amazing. Let me know what differences you may feel, like a before and after, if you pay attention to that, what you're feeling before you do something for yourself for self-care, once you address energy and root chakra, once you're having that self-awareness, and after. Again, you can share in the groups, drop them in the comments. Yeah, ready for homework. Right on. I love that. You're like, yeah, give it to me. Just play it. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Um, mm, could also review the first video of the 7-day chakra healing challenge as well, to get that refresher on the root chakra and the energy in the root chakra. That would be cool. And the year that you will see, I also brought in the acronym of the best you. So I go a little bit deeper into the beliefs part. So I can review there before we prepare for the next live round. That's in September. Have that self-awareness, grounding into your body, plus that connective grounding with the earth, right? And earthing in nature. Let's see. Hey, Rebecca. There she is. Robinette, thanks for this. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being on, Rebecca. Now that I use StreamYard, like I can't see who hops on unless you say something. I know, right? I love my silliness, though. Not gonna lie. I just do. I don't know if this is the same. We'll keep update in 10 seconds. Something was about to update, made me nervous. I just stopped it. I don't know. But all right. Thanks for being here again. Self-Care Challenge Day 8 today. I will see you tomorrow for day 9. Check the descriptions, of course, for all the links and updates for mine and for Iona's and all the good stuff. I will see you tomorrow. So much love.